उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं हरिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने। श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दैताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्य जल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्धाप सिद्धांत ध्वान्तहारिणे। नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौराविर्भाव भूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपः स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त श्रीराधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पंगुर्मम मन्देर्मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदां पूजौ श्रीराधा मदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यं कल्पाद्रुमाधः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् राससारम्भी वंशीभट तटस्थितः कर्षन्वेणुसुनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Tirumal Alvar. So who is going to chant all the 12 Alvars names? Vrindavan Lila Mataji, will you try all 12 Alvars names? Yes. Unmute and try. Or I have to tell Aruna Mataji or Usha Mataji to do. If you try, it will be nice. You have written somewhere? Have you written? Okay. Okay, Usha Mataji start with Alvar's names and then Vrindavan Lila Mataji will also repeat.
Shall I try, Mataji?
Yes, try.
Pronunciation may go wrong. I don't know how it will be. One
No
is
problem. It will. Yeah.
Poigai Alvar. Then Bhuthat Alvar. Pei Alvar. Tirumalai Sai Alvar. Namma Alvar. Madhurakavi Alavar, Kulashekar Alavar, Periyal Alavar, Andal. Andal is also included, na Mataji, in that. Can we include?
Yes, yes, she should.
Then Thonda Reddy Purdi Alvar. I should not do any injustice with them. Then Tirupan Alavar, Tirumangai Alavar.
Very good. Who else wants to try? Aruna Mataji, tell all the Alvar's
Yes,
names.
yes, Mataji, yes. Shall I?
Oigai Alvar. Sing and tell, sing.
Singing. Poigai Alvar, Bhudatarvar, Pe Alvar, Tirumalisai Alvar, Namma Alvar,
Alvar.
Madhura Kavi Alvar, Kulashekara Alvar, Peri Alvar, Andal, Tondaredipudi Alvar, Tiruppan Alvar, Tirumangai Alvar.
Hare. Wow.
Okay. So there are 12 Alvars, and we have discussed at least 4 Alvars. That is Lamma Alvar. We have discussed about Poigai Alvar, Bhutaka Alvar, and Pei Alvar. Today we'll be speaking something about Tirumalasai Alvar. Very great Alvar, Tirumalasai Alvar. Appeared in Tirumalasai, that is why his name became Tirumalasai Alvar. Now, there is a significance of this place also. The significance of the place Tirumalasai itself. It said when Saptarishis, they went to Brahmaji in Satyaloka. They offered obeisances and they asked Brahmaji, in this Bhumi, in this earthly planet, which is the best place to perform austerities? Then Brahma brought Vishwakarma, and with his help, he weighed the whole earth in one side of the balance. Like when you have the weighing machine, one side he kept the whole earth, another side he kept Tirumalasai. One side the whole earth, and another side just Tirumalasai. And Tirumalasai went down. Anything which goes down means that is heavier, isn't it? So that indicated that it's the best place in Bhuloka for performing austerity. So all the rishis, they came, they performed austerities in Tirumalasai. So whenever a rishi performs austerity, who feels something dangerous, who feels himself in a dangerous position, that is Indra. Indra always, I don't know why Indra gets afraid, but Indra always feels insecure. When any rishi performs nice tapasya, he feels insecure. He feels that his position is going to go away. His position will be taken by some rishi. So Bhargava rishi, he performed a lot of tapasya there. And when he was performing tapasya for the pleasure of Narayana, at that time, Indra, he thought that, that he was feeling very insecure and he wanted to destroy the tapasya. That is why he sent many apsaras, Ramba, Urvashi, like that, many apsaras. But this person was very, very austere, Bhargava Rishi. But somehow, one apsara, Kanakangi, she could draw the attention of this Bhargava Rishi. And in this way, Bhargava Rishi, he got trapped. And now he forgot his tapasya. He got attracted to her beauty. And she became pregnant. And she gave birth to just a mass of flesh. Only flesh was there. And then she threw it. She threw it in the bushes. And she left for her own place because that was not her work for begetting a child and being a mother of a child in this ugly planet. So she just left to the Indraloka, and here she threw the flesh in the bush. And Bhargava Rishi realized his mistake. What I did, I was doing tapasya, and why I was just carried away by this by this Apsara Kanakangi, and he returned to his tapasya, and here this flesh was thrown in the bush. Now, this flesh automatically took the form of a baby, and this baby was crying like anything. Narayana with Lakshmi appeared before this baby, and when he appeared before this baby, that time the baby got the nectarian uh, uh, darshan of Lord. So he stopped crying. But after that, Lord again disappeared. When Lord disappeared, again this child started crying. First, he was crying because he wanted darshan of Lord. And now he was crying because in separation of Lord. So two cries should be done. One is to have darshan of Lord. When Lord gives darshan, after that Lord disappears and one should cry like Thirumalasai. Even Narada also in his previous life, when he was a small boy, he was just searching for Lord. At that time he used to cry, oh, I want to see Lord. When Lord appeared for a few minutes, Lord gave darshan and Lord disappeared. Again Narada in his previous life, and he started crying. That hankering or the eagerness to see Lord should be there. Now Thirumalasai is again crying. Now, still his name is not Tirumasi, it's only Bhargava Kumara because he's born to Bhargavati. His name is just Bhargava Kumar. So, this Bhargava Kumar again is crying because he's separation from Lord. Now, hearing to this cry, there was a good man, you can say, or cowherd person. His name was Tiruvalan. He came there, and anyhow, they were childless only. So, he took this child to his wife, Pangayavar Selvi. Her name is Selvi. Pangayar Selvi. So he took this child to his wife, and they were very happy. And out of natural love, that Vatsalya Rasa, here this wife started having lot of milk in her breast. Actually, when the child is born from the womb, then only the milk comes for the mother, and especially when the child sucks the milk. But here, automatically from her breast, so much of milk was coming. But this child did not take anything. And this child was automatically growing. He had full detachment for these worldly things. He was not interested in eating, drinking, nothing, but still this child was growing. So people used to think this child is aprakrita, not of this prakriti. This child is something divine. So many people started coming to have darshan. In that, there was an old man. Means in the fourth varna, you can say. In the varna ashrama, what is the fourth varna? The fourth varna is like Shudras. So he and his wife, they came. They brought some milk for the child. This child never took milk from his mother's so-called mother, like one who adopted him. He never took. But when this old man and his wife, they came to see and gave the milk, this child took milk. In this way, they were so happy that this child is taking milk from us. And like this, it continued. One day, it so happened, he took the milk and gave the remnants to this old couple. When they drank it, this wife became pregnant. Now they were very old, but they became very young, and they gave birth to a very nice child. His name was Kanikannan. As soon as the child was born, they gave this child back to Bhargava Kumara and said, it's actually your blessings, your remnants. This child is nothing but your and the blessings of your remnants. So let him become your servant and be with you. Let him be your disciple. Let him be your devotee. So after 7 years, Tirumasai Alvar left that place and started wandering in different places. It so happened he was searching the Lord. So for searching the Lord, he was adopting various types of methods, sometimes Ashtanga Yoga. He used to do it very sincerely, and suddenly he left it because that is not the way to attain Lord. In this way, he started following different rules and regulations, and sometimes there are some religions which adopt Vedas, there are some religions which deny the Vedas. He started adopting different types of religions because he was in search of the absolute truth. But nowhere he was finding that such type of strictness which is given in different types of religions are able to find the Supreme Personality of God. Then he took to Shaivism and he started following so many yum, everything in the Shaivism. Now here, last time we saw how three alvars, that is first Mudal alvars, that is Poigai alvar, Bhutata alvar and Pei alvar, they had come to Tirumalai. It was only Bhranta alvar, that is Pei alvar, who became the Acharya. How many of you remember? We had discussed. Because he had instructed Tirumalai alvar and he got the position of an Acharya. So this Leela happens now. So three alvars had come to Tirumalai. Bhranta Alvar, he came to know that this great person, that is Tirumalai Alvar. Bhranta Vai, he used to talk like a madman. He used to behave like a madman, like Avaduta type. So now here, when he saw Tirumalai, he was the time he was having the vow of silence. And he's adopting so many vows just and adopting this Shaivism. But he is actually an Alvar. They came to know that he's an Alvar. And Alvar means he's actually the conch. That is, he is a chakra. He is a Sudarshan chakra of Lord himself. And now Sudarshan chakra of Lord, why is he adopting Shaivism? So that is why Bhranta Alvar thought, that is Pai Alvar thought that somehow I should bring this Tirumalai back to Vaishnavism. So now Pai Alvar, when he heard about him, he decided to reveal the truth. So what he did was he set an ashram near the place of Tirumalai. And he started noticing that uh, Tirumalai is he's following lot of niyama like vow of silence and all these things. How to make him speak? So he devised a plan. Intentionally, what he did was he took a plant and rooted the plant upside down. That means the leaves and all were in the roots and the root was up. And on top of that, he was watering the plant, that is this Peyalvar, was watering that plant with a pot with many holes. So what water will be there to water the plant? The pot cannot hold the water. Now this Bhargava Kumar, he started laughing. This Tirumalai Alvar, he started laughing loudly. He said, "Hey, are you a madman? Are you Pranta?" He said, "If my activity is of a half crackpot, but you are fully a madman, then..." And anyhow, he broke his vow of silence. He was very happy. Then he started speaking. He said, "How can you speak like that? I am a madman." I said, "Yes, because when all the Vedas, Puranas, everything states that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Narayana himself, you are worshipping Lord Shiva, who has no power at all. That means you are a madman, you are fully mad. That is why I consider your activity to be in full madness." Okay. So as nobody can water, he says, as nobody can water the plants as I did, in the same way, nobody can get mukti from Lord Shiva. So this argument went on, quotation after quotation. He was putting, Prantal was putting, and Tirumalai at last, who won? It was Prantal who won. Completely convinced Tirumalai Alva, that is Bhargava Kumar, to take up Vaishnavism because he is Chakra Sudarshan of Lord himself. Now here Tirumalai, he came back to Tirumalai Alva, Bhargava Kumar, he came back to this place, that is Tirumalai, which is considered to be the best place for meditation. So he started meditating on Lord Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana. At that time, Lord Shiva and Parvati, they pass over his head. He thought, let their shadow not fall on me. That is why he goes little behind. So then Parvati thought, why is he behaving like this? She felt insulted. She told to Shiva, he was our devotee, the Mahanubhava. He is our devotee, and now he has become devotee of Lord Narayana. It's nice, so let us go and bless him. So Lord Shiva comes. He says, I'm so happy to see you chant Narayana's name. Ask for a boon. But Tirumalai was acting as if he has not seen. And Shiva told, why are you acting like this? I have come here to give you boon. He said, okay, ask for a boon. He said, okay, can you give me moksha? He said, that I cannot give, that only Narayana can give. He said, okay, then ask something else. He said, give me long life. I should stay for a long life. He said, that also I cannot give. Whoever is destined by Brahma, for how many years they are staying, the destination is already there. According to karmas, everybody has got the destination, that I cannot extend it or reduce it also. Then he said, anyhow, you are not able to give any boon. You do one thing, because he was trying to put a thread in the needle. He was not able to do that. He said, can you help me in making this thread follow this needle? And Shiva was very angry. He said, this is the boon you're asking, you're insulting me. I'll burn you. He opened his third eye. He said, no problem. Here, Tirumala say what he did. There was an eye in his right big toe. There was an eyes. He opened that eye, and there was a fire which was more bigger than even Shiva's fire. Lord Shiva was thinking, what is this? This heat is more than even the fire which I have created. Then Lord Shiva, what he did, he called the clouds, and there was a devastating heavy rain. Like now we are having a lot of cyclonic rain in Mumbai and every place. So there also so much of cloud and like a cyclone type, heavy rain, as if it was a devastation. At the time of devastation it happens, like the dangerous floods were called. Tirumala was very peaceful. He was chanting the holy name of Lord. At that time, Lord Shiva was so pleased. Lord Shiva was actually testing his bhakti. Even in the midst of difficulty, the devotees will never give up chanting the holy name of Lord. That Lord Shiva wanted to show to the whole world that Tirumalai is a real devotee of Krishna. Whoever is a devotee of Lord will never forget Lord even in the midst of any calamities or difficulties. That is why Lord Shiva gave him a wonderful name, that is Bhakti Sar. Till now he is only called as uh, Bhargava Kumara, but now his name became Bhakti Sar. So Bhakti Sar, who had appeared at the end of Dwapar Yuga, Chakra himself, that is Sudarshana, manifestation of Sudarshana himself, he is Bhakti Sar Tirumalai Alvar. Now, he was a great yogi also. Now, there was an yogi who had a pride. His name was Suktihara. He had a great pride about his own yogic powers. So, he was actually flying or traveling in the sky. They're known as Kecharas. Kecharas means one who can travel in the sky. Putana also, his name is Kechari. She could travel in the sky. He was also known as Vyagravahana. Vyagravahana. Vyagra means tiger. He used to ride on a tiger traveling in the sky. Vyagravahana. That was his Vahana. Vyagra was his Vahana. So when he was crossing and exactly on the top of Bhaktisara, Vyagra could not move ahead. His Vahana could not move ahead. And Suktihara, he was very much surprised. He came to Tirumalai Bhaktisar and he said, how is it that that my Vahana was not able to cross upon you? He said, I am a great yogi. I can give you valuable silk cloth. Bhaktisar just neglected it. He, out of his yogic powers, removed some silk cloth and presented. And Bhaktisar just gave him one kavach. He also presented from his yogic powers, gave a kavach. He removed some necklace, then Bhaktisar gave him some malas. So in this way, whatever he is trying to remove, here also Bhaktisar is also removing. But Bhaktisar is removing much more better things than him, all divine things than him. So now he understood that this Bhaktisar is not an ordinary person. Before him, I cannot show my yogic powers. Oh, he's a Siddha Purusha. Immediately he felt obeisances, he paid obeisances to Tirumalai Alvar and said that you are a Siddha Purusha and took his shelter and did circumambulation also. So in this way, this Suktihara, he circumambulated him and accepted him as his guru. Guru means, oh, you are very much, you have a lot of yogic powers than me. And in this way, there is another play, another some magician was named. His name was Ponakanda, Ponakana, Ponkana, Pongana. His name was Pongana. He was a magician. He was trying to remove some mercury and showing to magician powers, magic powers, and showing to Tirumalai that see, I can transfer anything into gold. Then Tirumalai told, what is so great? You take dirt from my body. You're giving mercury and turning anything to gold. You take dirt from my body and you see that even the stone will turn into gold. So this person, Pongana, he was so surprised that just by the dirt of his body, the stones were turning into gold. In this way, the magicians, the yogiks, they were all surprised to see that Tirumal Alvar or Bhakti Sar was not an ordinary person. Now, he saw that in this Tirumal there are so many people who are coming to do meditation, out of which there are yogis, there are magicians. So he left Tirumal and he went to a mountain and he was doing tapasya over there. At that time, all these three alvars, actually they had come to Tirumalai, but they met him even before Tirumalai. Then he comes to Tirumalai and all these stories happen. Little near to Tirumalai, they meet him. But now again, their meeting happens. These three alvars, they meet him and they are just discussing about the Lord. So it was so wonderful. All these four alvars, that is Payya alvar, Kogai alvar, and Bhutata alvar, Rumasya alvar, they are just discussing about Lord. After some time again, the first alvars, the three alvars, they left for Tirthyatras. Here Tirumalai came back again to Tirumalai. Tirumalai alvar came back again to Tirumalai. Because in that mountain he was not getting the Tirumanna means the tilak, what you say. He was not able to get the tilak. So, so he was not getting the tilak, that is white clay, you say, Tirumanna, you say. That is why he came to Tirumalai. And there he was just searching for this Tirumanna. At that time, Lord Balaji appeared and gave him this Tirumanna. Tirumanna means the Chandan, Gopi Chandan, what you say. So then Lord Balaji appears and says, you will get this Tirumanna, but where you go to Tiruvakta first. There you will get. I will give you, but if you want a nice thing, you have to go to Tiruvekka. There is a place known as Tiruvekka. He says, okay, I'll go there. So then this boy who had been gifted by the old couple, that is Kanikannan, this Kanikannan and Tirumalai Alvar both come to that is a Tiruvekka. They come to Tiruvekka. Now there he gets the Gopi Chandan, and there he is just performing his daily worship to Lord. At that time, an old lady, she used to come to the ashram and broom and all these things. It so happened, this Tirumalai Alvar was very happy with this old lady. He said, what boon you want? She said, I'm so old, I just want to become young. Tirumalai told, okay, very good, wonderful, become young and beautiful. So she became so young and beautiful. At that time, there was a Pallava Raja. This Pallava Raja, he fell in love with this young, beautiful woman. Actually, this young, beautiful woman was an old woman first. He fell in love, he married with that woman. Now, this king was becoming old, but this young lady was remaining as she is. So now this king is thinking, how come this lady is not becoming old? My wife is looking prettier and prettier day by day. I am becoming old. So then he asked the secret. She said, I served Tirumalai Alvar very nicely at that time. Tirumalai gave me the boon of becoming young and beautiful. Then he said, even I want that boon, even I want to look young and beautiful. He said, do one thing. You approach his assistant, that is Kanikannan. This Kanikannan will somehow arrange your meeting with Tirumalai. Then he says, Kanikannan out of pride, hey, you do one thing, call your Alvar here. He said, see, my Alvar is a great Purusha. And for your stupid reasons, I am not going to call Alvar here. Because this all material desires. and I'm not going to use my master for fulfilling your material desires. Then he was very upset. He said, then his wife told, do one thing. You somehow please Kanikandan. Kanikandan sings very nice. You make him sing for you. If he starts singing for you, then automatically you will get what he sings. You somehow see that he sings that you get this all things, you get this beauty, you get this youth and all these things. Then he told Kanikandan, do one thing, you sing for me. He said, I have got a wonderful voice, but this voice is meant for glorifying God, not for glorifying you. Then he said, no, you have to sing. He said, okay, I'll start singing. He started singing, but he was glorifying Narayana. Hearing this, king was very angry. He said, just get lost from my kingdom. So then he said, okay, I'll just go to my Alvar, take his permission, and go from Tiruvakka. See, from Tirumasai, they came to Tiruvakka. Now here in Tiruvakka, Kanikannan is told to go away from Tiruvakka. Then Alvar told, what am I going to do here without you? Let me also. And then they went and told to Lord also. Kanikannan Pogiran. Pogiran means he is going. I am also going. Oh Lord, what are you going to do here? He is going to worship you. This king is having so much of pride. So better come along with us. So what did Lord do? Then Lord, he just coiled his things. So he sleeps in Adishesha, na? So he has to remove his bedding and all. He coiled his bedding. He also went along with these two people. That is Tirumalsai and Kanikannan. And the whole kingdom was in darkness. And then the people over there, they saw that our Alvar and Kanikannan and Lord himself is also walking behind them. What are we doing here? So let us also go. So everybody started vacating the kingdom. And now the king and the ministers, they were afraid and worried also. So next day they go to Kanikannan and ask forgiveness. They go to Alvar, they ask forgiveness. At that time, Alvar says, okay, let us go back. And Alvar prays to Lord. See, actually, Kanikannan doesn't want to go. Even I don't want to go. But these people are begging. So let us all go. You also come again. Now, Lord wants to show that I went along with them for one day. So that is why the proof is when Lord comes back, now his reclining position it is now exactly opposite. First he was lying on his right hand, and now what happened? He lied on the left hand, and that was an evidence that Lord went along with them. Yathotkari. Their Lord is his name is Yathotkari. So because Lord obeyed their instructions, his name became Sunnavanam Saita Perumal. Sunnavanam means whatever you say, Saita Perumal. Saita means he does it. Perumal means the Supreme Personality of God. Sunnavanam, whatever you say, Saita Perumal. He is like that. He, whatever you say, he will hear. Yathottakari. That is why Tiruvakka Perumal name is Yathottakari. Whatever you say, he will hear. But who should say a great personality like Tirumal Sayalvar? When he says, he hears. So for one night, he went and stayed along with them. So in this way, the king understood the glory of the devotees, the glory of Kanikannan, the glory of Alvar, and in this way, he started serving them, and he really became very fortunate and blissful. Now, like this, the days are going. Now here from Tiruvakka, Tirumalai Alvar came to Kumbakonam. Now in Kumbakonam, he was actually resting before a Brahmana's place. Now Tirumalai was considered as a Shudra because he was grown up by one of the hunter on woodman, or you can say a cowherd person. So he was called as he was known as a Shudra only, but his devotion was so much that people considered that he is a great devotee. But when he came to Kumbakonam, there were some smarthas. These smarthas, they saw, hey, the fourth Varna person, that is a Shudra person. So then what happened was, These Brahmanas, they were actually reciting the Vedas. When they saw him, they stopped reciting Vedas. They said, one should not recite Vedas before a low class person. But Tirumalai is not a low class person. Though considered to be born in a Shudra, but he is actually a great devotee. But they were not understanding his position. But then he thought, "Oh, whatever they are doing is right. I am just a Shudra, I am just a low class person. Why should I stop them reciting the Vedas? That is why let me move away from this place." So Bichara, he started leaving from that place. But then they started to recite again. But they forgot in which line they had stopped. Now Tirumalai was knowing which line they had stopped. But it is said a low class person should not recite Vedas. So he thought that let me not speak, but let me show by my action. So what he did was he took a black paddy, it's a black pad. He took a black paddy and just divided it by his nails. Immediately they could recollect that line because that line speaks about a similar incidents. Like you say analogies. Today there was a question, what is this analogy? I don't know, so many doubts everybody is having about this question answer. So somebody asked me, what is analogy? Should we describe the analogy? I said, no, analogy means comparison. No, isn't it comparison? Like when you want to describe the features of the Lord, then Lord's features like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, and the reflection sea, the Paramatma, the Brahman, the Paramatma, that can be compared to the sun globe, the reflection of the sun, and the rays of the sun, the reflection of the sun seen in the pots. That is known as analogy. In the same way here, by just tearing the black paddy, he is giving this analogy. Immediately the Brahmanas picked up and started chanting. But then the Brahmanas realized that he is not he is not an ordinary person. He is transcendental to his birth, and they paid obeisances and served him. Now everybody everybody were seeing, even the pujaris could observe that wherever Tirumalai used to go, Kumbakonam Perumal Sharangapani, he used to turn his face towards him. If he goes to the other street, Lord's face will go there. That means Lord always wants to see Tirumalai Alvar. Wherever he used to walk in the streets, there his face is to turn. Lord's face is to turn. And the pujaris and all, they were horrified. They were thinking, what happened to our Perumal? He's just going on moving. So they went and told to one of the great pujari was there. He was a Dikshit person, very great person. Perum Puliyur Adigal. They went and told him that this person is not ordinary. This person is such a great person that wherever he goes, our Lord also turns there. Then he thought, yes, this Dikshita thought, yes, we should do Agra Puja for him. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj did puja for Krishna. In the same way, he did puja for Tirumalai Alvar. But there were some Brahmins again, they were not happy. They thought, what is this? A puja done for such a low class person by a Brahmana? This is not good. Like how Shishupal, he actually came in way when Yudhishthir Maharaj was performing Agra Puja for Krishna. Then Alvar thought, now it is the time I have to show that Lord resides in my heart. If I don't show that, then people will just criticize this Dikshitar. Because Dikshitar thought of doing Agra Puja for me. Agra Puja means a puja done in honoring a great personality. So this Dikshitar was not wrong because he could understand my position. But how can he say that? He will not say directly that my position is I am the Chakra of Lord. He will not say from his own mouth. These are the qualifications of the great personality. So then he started praying, Lord, oh Lord, you appear. You appear and somehow see that these people who are criticizing this Dikshitar, their eyes are open. So Lord, what he did, he along with Lakshmi, along with Adishesha, even along with the Milky Ocean, he shows this darshan in the chest of Alvar. Now everybody could see Lord lying in the Milky Ocean on the Adishesha, and Lakshmi is massaging the lotus feet of Lord. So everybody saw, and see the bhagya of people also. Those who came to offend him, they could get the darshan of Lord. So in this way, they were so happy. They took the Alvar in Ratha. So there was a Brahmarathi procession carrying Thirumalai Alvar. So in this way, Alvar started preaching to them about many things, and they all came to. This all happened in the outskirts of Kumbakonam, but now they came to Tirupurandai. In Kumbakonam, there is a nice place which is known as Tirupurandai. That is Sarangapani temple only. Tirupurandai. Their Lord's name here, Thirumal sees Lord in Kumbakonam. He is so happy by seeing Lord. He says, "Oh Lord, you are full of, uh, you say, the nectar." In Tamil, the nectar, or in Sanskrit, the nectar is mudam. Arava mudam. Arava mudam. So he says, "You are full of nectar, O Lord." That is why the Mula, you can say. Mula means there is a Mula Vigraha, there is a Utsava Vigraha. So the Mula Vigraha's darshan, when Thirumal Alvar is taking the darshan of Mula Vigraha, he says, you are Arva Mudam. Amudam means you are full of nectar. Just your darshan is enough to give this nectarian bliss. Your nectarian pastimes are so wonderful to hear. So in this way, he says, you are Arva Mudam. You are completely full of nectar. So then what he did was, he thought, okay, I have written so many books. Let me just throw it in Kaveri. Let me see what are those things which is going to make people survive, or which is those things which is going to save the whole world. So when he started throwing hundreds of prabandhas, he had written many shlokas, hundreds of prabandhas in Kaveri, two things, two prabandhas. Nanmugam Tiruvandadi, Tiruchanda Virudham, these two things, Nanmugam Tiruvandadi, Tiruchanda Virudham, these two things, they did not drown, else everything went away. Then he understood that these two is going to save the whole world, because in these two, he has just glorified Lord like anything. And in this way, he started releasing the form of Arva Mudam in Kumbakonam. Every day he used to release. And he had this Vatsala Rasa towards Lord. He used to tell to Lord, "Oh Lord, how much you're walking in the forest in searching Sita. Your legs are not paining or what. And all the time you're just lying down. Do one thing. Sometimes sit also, a little bit sit, get up." So there you will find Lord lying, but he has little bit woken up. And the Mulavar is 12 feet long, reclining position. But how it is? He is reclining in the left hand, bent below his head with the shoulders slightly raised. That means he wants to get up. Why? The Alvar is asking Lord, because he has so much of affection. He says, your feet were actually passing through the long forest in the long walk in the forest, Aranyavanam. You do one thing, you get up now, and you first tell me the answer for this question. Is your feet not, are your feet not paining? If you lie like this, you will not answer to me. So sit and answer my question. So that is why you can find that his shoulders are little bit raised. That is why there Lord is in the Utthana Shayana. Utthana means Utthana Shayana posture. And he says, you are Ara Amudam, Arva Amudam, Ara Amudam. Amudam means you are full of sweetness, O Lord. What sweetness you are having. In this way, there is a nice glorification, which these two, that is Nanmugam Tiruvandadi, then Tiruchanda Virudam, which was actually the two Prabandhams which did not drown. Now, what are there in this in this wonderful two Prabandhams? So they are nothing but glorification of Lord. So let us see what are the glorifications done by Tirumalai Alvar in Tirupati. It is said he glorifies Lord. He says, "O Lord, I always want Vaikuntha Vasa. But whether I am going to get Vaikuntha Vasa or not, so for that, I will throw some dice. Let me see whether I am going to get my desires fulfilled or not." So like this, Pasurams, Tirumalai Alvar has written. So let me read out one. Let me just translate one thing. The translation goes like that. Alvar says, "O Perumal, you are standing in Tirumala. You are sitting in Paramapada. And in Shirabhi, the Shirasagara, what you are doing? You are lying there. In Tirumala, you are standing. In Parampada, you are sitting. And Shirasagara, you are lying down. And then, as Vamana, what you do, Trivikrama, you are trying to measure the whole world. And then, as a Varaha, what you are doing, you are carrying Bhumi Devi. And as Narsimha, you are killing Hiranyakashipu. And in this way, it's just going on. Durlabha Manasa Deha. This Manasa Deha, that is this Manav Sharira, is Durlabha. In this Durlabha Manav Sharira, if a person gets a chance to glorify Lord, that is so wonderful. He was so concerned about the Lord. He used to always think, "Oh Lord, your legs are paining or what? Oh Lord, you're sleeping properly or not? Oh Lord, you're eating properly or not?" In this way, he used to talk. Then when Lord used to not answer, he used to say, "You get up and answer to me." So in this way again, he glorifies in the Pasurans. He says, "Oh Lord, I want to reside in Tirumala. Whether I'm going to get that Vasam or not, oh, let me throw a dice and let me check. Sometimes comes a head or tail. So whether if I get some Tirumala Vasam or not." Then in one of the Pasuram for Tiruvangadam, he says, "Oh Shayana Perumal, I can see Shayana Perumal and the Lord over here, they both are same. You are so wonderful, O Lord. I just want to seek the shelter of your lotus feet." And then he says that I have seen Lord in Tirupushtir. Tirupushtir is the place where Pushti Purna gave Ashtakshara mantra to Sripad Ramanujacharya. He says, "Oh Lord, you are so happily residing in Tirupushtir, and you are the same Lord who is there here. You are very happy but I see your happiness more in Tiruvangadam." Just see, you are residing in Tirupushtir, but you are very happy in Tiruvangadam. Lot of priest comes na hill station. So it is my desire that I should just sing your praises. And further he says, these pasurams are so wonderful. He says, this pasurams like the previous one is the pasuram from Nanmugan Tiruvandadi. He says, Alvar glorifies here. He says that, let me cast the dice. Let me see whether you are going to fulfill my dreams or not. Then he says, "Oh Lord, let me go on uttering your name." That is the life. Uttering Lord's name is the life of a devotee. Alvar says he was himself wondering as to what was great thing what he had done to become eligible even to get moksha. He is thinking, what I have done so big thing that Lord wants to give him moksha. So that is the nature of a devotee. Devotee never thinks that he is qualified to get moksha. He is always worried. So now see, even the chakra is worried whether he is going to get moksha or not. And we very easily say, we are going back to God. Right? Are we are going to get that position or not? We should be worried about that. So here Alvar says, what I have done such a big thing that I'll be getting moksha. Then he says, let me chant the name of Tiruvengadam. Tiruvengadam, Tiruvengadam, Tiruvengadam. Srinivasa also, Tiruvengadam. Even the place where Lord resides, just by chanting the place name, it itself will become the qualification, give me the qualification to go back home, back to God. So in this way, a lot of glories has been given. Pages has been given how Lord of Tirumala is glorified by Alvar. Then he says, oh Lord, I was searching you in Tirumala, but suddenly I saw that you are there in my heart. So he says, I was searching you, and suddenly I saw that you have jumped and came to my heart. So Alvar says that Lord is present in everyone's heart. There is not a moment the Lord leaves a devotee and goes. Sometimes we say, is it auspicious to chant Lord's name in this time? But Lord has not left the heart. Then what is, how we can decide whether what is auspicious or inauspicious? What is the most inauspicious thing? The forgetfulness of Lord is the most inauspicious. Every moment is auspicious. The moment itself becomes auspicious when we chant the holy name of Krishna. So that is why he says, I was searching Lord in Tiruvangadam. Suddenly I found that he has jumped in my heart and is sitting in my heart. So Lord is seated in everyone's heart. We have forgotten him. That is our problem. And we are trying to search him, but that's our problem. Lord is present in everyone's heart. Lord is guiding us, but we don't want to hear him. That is our problem. We want to hear so many things, but we don't want to hear the instructions of Lord. Then the Alvar says, it is so nice when a person is young and can go to Tirumala. Because those times to go to Tirumala means you have to walk, and it's not that you can just go by bus and all. Even today also, devotees walk and go to Tirumala. Whenever we go to Yatra, Tirumala Yatra, we make it a point that we walk and go to Tirumala Hills. They say it is good when you are young and you can walk and go to Tirumala. Because when you become old, it is very difficult to walk to Tirumala. So better take advantage and go and visit Tirumala. Then he says, I will accompany every devotee, whoever goes to Tirumala. That means whoever goes and takes darshan of Tirumala, at that time, whoever walking and taking a lot of troubles, he is escorted by whom? Escorted by Tirumala Alvar himself. That is how Sudarshan Chakra, he gives us strength. Who is Sudarshan? Sudarshan is weapon of Krishna. Sudarshan is Chakravarta Alvar. So Sudarshan Chakra gives the protection to the devotees. Whoever takes trouble or whoever does lot of activities for Krishna, who protects the devotees? It is Sudarshan who protects the devotees. So that is why he says, I accompany the devotees. When the devotees go to Tirumala, when the devotees go to Tirukostiyu, when the devotees go to take darshan in the Dividesham, it is I who escort the devotees, I who protect the devotees. That is how the Sudarshan always gives protection to the devotees. We can see how Kanikan was completely protected by Tirumala Alvar. We can see that how Yogi Purusha, even those who tried to offend him, even they were protected by Tirumala Alvar, because it is Sudarshan who gives protection to the devotees. But Sudarshan cannot tolerate anybody who offends the devotees. That is why when the king offended, Pallavaraja offended Kanikani, immediately Alvar left the place. That is why Sudarshan cannot tolerate any insult done to the devotees. Like Durvasa Muni, when he comes to Ambarish Maharaj, he tries to test Ambarish Maharaj, but then afterwards he is creating a demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Immediately Chakravarti Alvar, what he does, that is Sudarshan, he comes out of the hand of Krishna and runs behind the Durvasa. Durvasa goes to everybody in asking the protection. But then Lord says, go to Ambarish. If he forgives you, then automatically you are protected. So that is the work of Sudarshan. Sudarshan cannot tolerate any insult done to devotee. Any insult done to devotee is as good as doing an insult to Krishna, because Krishna loves devotees and devotees love Krishna. Krishna says that if you want to find me, then you will find me the devotee's heart. Sadhunam hridayam tuham. I reside in the heart of people. Sadhuva hridayam mayyam. Devotees reside in my heart. I reside in their heart. Such is a loving relationship between the devotees and Krishna. That is why it is said, never offend any devotees. That is how the Namaprad also starts with first thing. Patam ninda namna paramapradam vigamate. First offense is never offend any devotees. So these aparadhas, any aparadhas, which starts with offending any devotee. So here Tirumala says, I accompany the devotees who go and visit Tirumala. They can do pradakshina of Tirumala. I go along with them. I inspire them to do the pradakshina of the Sannidhi of Lord Srinivasa. So in this way, Tirumanga Alvar is glorifying Tiruvangamalai, as well as he is glorifying the devotees who are going and taking. He says large number of people who are knowledgeable, who are well versed in the Vedas, they reside in this hill. So this hill is not ordinary. In this hill, all great personalities, they do a lot of austerities. They read Vedas, they glorify Krishna. And in this way, Alvar says, whoever worships the Lord at Tirumala are like the Nityasuris who are staying in Parampada. And what are they doing? They are doing Kainkeriam. Kainkeriam to the devotees of the Lord. They are not even doing to the Lord directly. They are doing the Kainkeriam to the devotees of God. And they are more fortunate than the devotees who are directly worshipping the Lord. So those who are serving the devotees of the Lord are more fortunate than a person who is directly devoted to Lord. So he says, I have a desire to stay in this beautiful Paramapad and worship the Lord along with all the devotees. I have the desire to worship the devotees, and in this way, when along with all the devotees, I just want to glorify your holy name. So here we'll stop. So different past tense, we saw that how next time we'll do about Madhur Kavi Alvar. I thought some question answers, some doubts and all, many were having. So half an hour, let us take the doubts. First doubt for me itself is, I don't know what is the question paper. So you please tell me what are the questions. That is the first doubt which I have. Okay, regarding this subject, please tell me any doubt you can tell. Yes, Vasandani Prabhu, unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hare, Mataji, before I ask a question, I just wanted to request you, you had promised you will tell us about Varha Narsimha Bhagwan. So after this question answer session, can you please tell us about that also?
In Simhachalam, I'll tell you. In Simhachalam, when Hiranyakashipu threw Prahlad down from the hill, at that time Narsimha comes and holds Prahlad. So Narsimha looks at Lord. Prahlad looks at Narsimha. He says, "Oh Lord, I want to see your Varaha form. Can you show how you saved Hiranyaksha?" Lord showed the Leela of how he saved Hiranyaksha. That is why face is of Varaha.
Okay.
That is why when you go to Simhachalam, except for Akshaya Tritiya, because they go on applying the Chandan, that is why there's like the whole Vigraha will look like Shivling. Only on the day of Akshaya Tritiya, when you open, you will see how you Varaha Narsimha.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Mataji, this, our exams on Saturday, Sunday, both days it is between 8 and 9:30 evening,
Yes, yes.
Saturday and Sunday.
Why you all are so tense? Why you all are so
No,
tense?
no,
Right
we
now
are not,
something. I'll give you
Mataji,
all of you full marks.
Mataji, we 21 people who are attending your class today, we are not tensed up.
Ah.
Tensed up people are others who are preparing for it just now.
No, today there is a network issue. Bichara they, that is why they will not join. Everywhere cyclonic network issue must be there. If that issue is
Yeah,
not there, then exam issue must be there. Okay.
Okay,
Anybody else?
okay.
Yeah. Nitai Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I thank you very much. Mataji, oh my God, where is my question now? I have to read the question. Sorry. 1 minute, Mataji. I think
Don't ask me some question which I don't know any answer. Huh? Because now I
Mataji,
am completely.
Mataji,
Uh-huh.
what that you don't
Uh.
have, you don't know the answer, Mataji. I would like to know what question you don't know the answer, Mataji.
See, I have my over, 6th chapter all over, and I forgot also.
Oh,
Okay,
we
tell.
have forgotten. Oh, Krishna. Then what is our plight, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
1 second, Mataji, I'm not, Vrindavan Leela Mataji, can you please help me because I don't know, my WhatsApp is not opening now. Oh my Krishna. Okay.
Yes, Mataji, please,
You
please
know,
tell me.
Mataji, that question, remember that we were speaking that whether beginner consciousness